Another thing which you have to answer before you interrupt is why you are doing that. Whether your interruption will be considered good interruption or a bad interruption is based upon this question, why? Why we interrupt? Some good reasons of interruption is something happening in this conversation and you don't like it, you want to disagree, and then you interrupt. How to do that, we will see in the skill set. But you disagree, you want to interrupt. But that disagreement is related to that conversation only. Or maybe someone is completely monopolizing the conversation. Someone there in the room who is not allowing anyone to speak. That's a good reason to interrupt. Someone has said something and you have an example to strengthen what that someone said. So you still agree to that point, but you are just strengthening. So maybe there are other people in the conference room who are not agreeing to this point. This example which you have said will help these people to get agree. That's a good example of interruption. What are the bad examples of interruption? When the interruption has nothing to do with the conversation which is happening. It's just like the meeting is on and for last 10 to 15 minutes there is one question in your mind and you're thinking, shall I ask, shall I not, shall I ask, shall I not? And then the point at which you decide to ask that question, the conversation has gone ahead, and at that point of time, that interruption is not at all helping that conversation. It's just like all are watching a movie and suddenly you inject a completely different scene from a different movie. It's not a very pleasant experience for others. You're doing it only for yourself. That's not a good interruption. You interrupt when you're not aware about the background. Maybe you are sitting in the meeting where no one has briefed you about the background. So your interruption is all based upon the partial information you have. And that's not a quality interruption, especially when other people, they have more information, more knowledge about that subject or about that topic. So it's your responsibility to ensure that before you interrupt, at least you have an equal amount of knowledge before you interrupt on that topic. So if you don't have a complete background knowledge, don't interrupt. It's not a quality interruption. And this interruption is very common. You interrupt to impress. Don't interrupt to impress. Just because your boss is sitting next to you, just because there is someone you want to impress in the office, just by telling or by showing that, see how active I am in the meeting. From a communication point of view, this is not the correct interruption. Make sure when you are interrupting, you are actually taking that conversation further, or you are strengthening the conversation by agreeing or disagreeing, but about that piece of conversation which is happening at that point of time.